Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we are so excited to have you again. Trouble is looming in the air for the former Abia State governor over the issue of corruption, which was leveled against him some time ago. Right now, it's not even anyone that is reminding the EFCC about his case. It's actually the youth of the Southeast, precisely the Johannes and Youth Council. They are the ones dragging him before the presidency, and for them, they are demanding that the president needs to carry out an operation to flush out all the criminals. And they say that Orji Kalu is the reason for unemployment, poverty, and even insecurity in the southeast. They said a lot, and we're going to be looking at all of that in a jiffy. But before we continue, if you've not subscribed to our channel, please do well hit on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our video. According to the news, the Ohanese Youth Council (OYC) has urged President Muhammadu Buhari and the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) to ensure the prosecution of political looters in the country. The Igbo Youth Group, in a statement on Tuesday, urged the anti-graft agency to revisit the 7.1 billion money laundering case against the former governor of Abia State, Orji Kalu. Addressing journalists in Abuja shortly after the court reprimanded Governor Rochas Okorocha on 5 count charges bordering on 1.2 billion naira fraud and money laundering. Igboayaka, the national president of the OIC, urged President Buhari to launch Operation Financial Crime Cleanup in Nigeria and subsequently jail all political looters in the country before he leaves office in 2023. Igboayaka, who bemoans the rate of impunity among political office holders, said that criminals must and ought to pay for their crime. According to him, corrupt politicians who are guilty of embezzlement and all other forms of misappropriation of public funds amidst impunity are like the regular, fully armed criminals who steal without minding the consequences of their crime. The Igbo Youth Organization explained that part of the reason for the agitation by pro-Biafran groups is because Igbo governors looted the local government funds meant for rural development in 1999 and left the people in abject poverty. According to the group, a government that is devoid of corruption is that government that has outright zero tolerance for crime and criminality, irrespective of whose ox is God. He said the likes of Orji Kalu are the reason for unemployment, poverty, and insecurity in the southeast. The evidence of what's happening in the east today is the remote cause of Orji Kalu maladministration. There's no doubt that Abia State is the most backward state in the southeast, courtesy of Orji Kalu. Furthermore, Igboayaka asked the EFCC, under the leadership of its former chairman, Ibrahim Magu, to explain to Nigerians how Orji Kalu was released from jail, stressing the principle and ethics of EFCC will compromise. According to him, he said we can't continue to live in a country of drama over serious matters treated with levity. It's a treason that Senator Orji Kalu was facing a trial with two others on alleged 1.7 billion fraud, yet the case was swept under the carpet. Unfortunately, we are living in a country where few individuals have looted the economic lifespan of Nigeria, yet they move freely in public space or public places. In a sane civil society, the likes of Orji Kalu shouldn't be walking freely after being found guilty of mismanagement of Abia State local government funds. I therefore call on Abdul Rashid Bawa, the fourth respected executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) to quickly revisit Senator Orji Kalu's 7.1 billion naira fraud to give justice a face of justice. With the greed and primitive looting that characterized the person of Orji Kalu, I urge Abdul Rashid Bawa to undergo a fresh financial investigation on the past financial activities of Abia State under the then leadership of Senator Orji Kalu beginning from 1997 to 2007 when he was the governor of Abia State. I also appeal to President Muhammadu Buhari to keep a lasting historical legacy by jailing political criminals in Nigeria. Those were his words, man. Oh my God, this is quite shocking because these people are tired of the continuous looting. The looting is getting out of hand. I'm telling you, it's getting out of hand. And everybody, and if you've noticed the trend fairly recently in the looting wall, especially when it has to do with politicians, every day they are scaling new heights. Before now, it was in thousands. Before we know, it entered into from 1 million to tens of millions, and before we know, they move from that level to another level, hundreds of millions. Today we're talking about billions, and I'm talking about tens of billions. Very soon we are going to be going into hundreds of billions. Someday we'll be hearing that someone has misappropriated as much as a trillion naira. This is really disheartening. And they do all of those things, and you still see them in the corridor of power. You still see cases brought up against them. After a while, it is being played down on. I don't even know how much this administration is committed to fighting corruption, especially with the last issue that came up where Dariye and Yami were being released when they had enjoyed and stolen as much as 1 billion naira, from the Nigerian government. All of a sudden, they were released. So, what kind of fight are we coming up with? I love the words he used here, especially when he talked about the issue of Operation Financial Crime Clean Up, and he said it very well that the government should think about that, which for me, I feel is very important. But then, this current administration, how are we sure that they will do it without any form of ethnicity or religious sentiment and all of that? Because even if you are talking about cleaning up the political system and trashing all the political looters, you must also consider the fact that such action should be taken without preferential treatment. In other words, whether it is a northerner that is doing it or whether it is southerner that is doing it, make sure that you hit them hard and get back what belongs to the people to the people. Already we are looking for how to source for money and change the narrative of this country in terms of the economy, but those monies are in the pocket of very few people, and they are walking down the street. Nobody can even hold them back. It's really disheartening. I really feel what Igboayaka is feeling, and I feel that for me, my own standpoint is when such operation is being carried out, please, there shouldn't be any form of preferential treatment, and there shouldn't be any form of exemption. Whether you are a politician, whether you were an appointee, whoever the person is, all of them must vomit everything that they have stolen thus far. That's where we are going to leave it. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What do you have to say about the demands from OYC to the president? Let's